looking at. This is a video you'll get back tomorrow morning. I will splice up all these pieces together, so you have one video of this, one video of that.
Okay.
So that way you can have different versions of it. That way you get different angles. So should be able to see me, right? Red, orange, and yellow guy. So kind of back it up. You should have some blue and black in there. Your blue and black spots are your colder areas. We're literally looking for cold spots. So cold spots, what we're looking for when you're watching the video are them to move or form on their own. So if they form into some kind of shape and the temperature drops anywhere between, I'd say 12 to 30 degrees on average. When I see a good temperature drop, I'm like, oh shit, what's that?
Yeah.
It's usually a pretty good drop. The cool thing about the way this is set up is that you'll see a blue dot moving around on the screen. Do you guys see that? The blue dot is giving us the coldest moment at that particular time in the frame. So if we move it around, obviously the blue dot's going to move, and it will give us both the center crosshairs or whatever it's measuring versus the blue dot. So I don't know if you can see the blue dot on there.
Yeah.
So again, I leave it set for the coldest moment or the coldest spot on there and the crosshairs in case we want to measure something. We can keep that crosshairs and just move the camera to get the crosshairs on it where we need it to go.
There you go.
So this one's actually going to go to you.
Okay.
You're going to keep the camera on your left at all times.
On my left at all
So
times.
that's this side. That's your camera.
Okay.
So and the camera lens is right here.
Okay.
So even when I tell you to stop the camera and you restart it, make sure the camera starts on your left. What happens is it goes to YouTube. YouTube doesn't know the flippies. So at some point, if you're on the right by the accident, it's going to be upside down. And then I got to give out your phone number to your friends, and not that they already have it.
Yeah, right.
Sponsors, but
Of course not.
You're going to be double-fisted, which is one of the reasons why I took your shirts from you. So you're going to be using two different devices tonight.
Just the way I like it.
Double-fisted, right? So you're going to be our spirit box person of the night.
Okay.
You're going to be using two different types of spirit boxes. Now, do you guys watch the television shows and all that hokey shit?
It's been a while, but yeah.
It's been a while.
Okay. So spirit box is kind of a refresher course. These are going to sweep through FM radio stations at a quick rate. That's usually the white noise, and then Zach Bagans, those are the bullshit he thinks he heard in the middle of the screen.
Right.
Yeah. We're going to be doing that in real time. You're going to have earbuds for this one, so you can keep one earbud in. That way you can, continue to listen to the history pieces I'm going to give you. But this is going to record the entire session for us. Even when you turn the volume down, it's going to keep it at a nice even keel. Tomorrow morning when I'm spot checking it, because this is going to be 2 hours worth of audio.
Yeah.
2 hours there, 2 hours there. I'm not going to review everything. Yeah. That's what you guys pay for. It's the full research. But I am going to put up a couple of markers with what I caught. If it's relevant, I will tell you why it's relevant to the location where we are. Plus, I'll give you the backlink of where I got the information from.
Excellent.
So you're kind of verifying, you're checking the checker, basically. So I'm going to set this guy up. I'll turn it up real quick just so you all get the gist of what he's going to be listening to for the rest of the night. And then I'll get you a set of earbuds, and I don't want the earbuds back. I buy them in bulk.
That's fine.
COVID times, and plus I don't need everybody's earwax. It's gross.
I mean, earwax is fine.
So
if you're into that sort of thing.
That's what he's going to be listening to all night in hopes that a song lyric, a DJ, or a commercial will come through that he can make out. So again, these are slowed down versus the ones on TV.
Yeah.
So because you're not trained to listen to it every day, you gotta have, you gotta have some kind of voice coming through. Now, if you capture disembodied voices, it's more than likely I'll catch it tomorrow morning if one's there. But it's those radio DJs that's a 50-50 shot. I might be able to match it to where we are. So you have one button that you need to worry about on this. It's the volume.
So I'm listening for songs or radio DJs? Because I don't know local radio DJs.
No, any voices.
Okay, cool.
Any voices that come through. So if you can make out what it says, that's what we want to know. So even if you have a hard time with it, it's fine. That's why we record the whole thing. And I'm going to go through it tomorrow.
Okay.
So take a pack of earbuds out of there. They're all individually wrapped. I don't give a shit what color I have. And last but not least, the other device you're going to have as you're getting that guy set up. This is a spirit box from a phone app. So let me explain how this one works a little bit. So this one's going to give us words from time to time in the center of the screen, as you guys can see.
Right.
Keep, and exiting you out. Come over this way. Like how I just take charge of everything. So, but it's going to give us words, okay? And then it's going to save all those words to a list. Now, the cool thing about the list is it gives me timestamps for everything. So if I need to match something up with something else, then I can do that based on the video, the recording that you're listening to, so forth and so on.
Sure.
I'm going to clear out last night's list. They had 77 entries. Their list was actually pretty fucking awesome, if I did say so myself. And it was a lot of real-time moments. So what I mean by that, it came up with things like turn here when we were about to turn. I was talking about low tide. It said ocean. Those kind of things. There was a lot of real-time moments. But you guys are going to get the full list back. So I will. So
basically, most of what we're going to see tonight or feel, we won't really notice until tomorrow once you get it back to us. Yeah.
It's usually about a 40-60 split.
Okay.
So 40 real time, 60 comes out of when you're reviewing the data the next day.
Gotcha.
If
That's
I'm really
good.
going to be honest
That's
with you.
good. I like that assessment.
80% of what comes out of
Got
this
your
thing
headphones
is
in?
bullshit. It doesn't mean anything. It's meant to be a game and a hoax.
Oh, okay.
It's the other 5 to 20% where I'm going to be able to match it up and give you a link to verify it. And again, it's going to be some real-time stuff that's going to happen. Now, I don't want to see every word, like as it happens. So when I say, where are we at with the list? You're going to hit the little white button right there. You'll be able to scroll through it when we do have words up there, and then you just circle back. This one's super easy to use. That's why you're double-fisted.
Okay, cool. I hope it's easy to use.
I'm losing names already. So it's Dylan, Hunt,
Jerry.
Get it. Easy.
And what's yours?
Nick.
Nick, all right. I got to know that.
Yeah, I'm so bad with fucking names.
Nick,
It's cool. Don't worry about it.
you're Dylan. And
I'm going to be using, this is not an, how do I put this? You don't
You
need
got a
to
lot
have
of
this thing
cameras
running
over there,
all the
dude.
time. So let me kind of explain the device I'm going to keep on me. So this is what we call a millimeter. It has 3 different functions. So first thing is the little numbers at the bottom are measuring ambient temperature. Jerry finds something on the camera, I can
Bam.
debunk it or prove it pretty quickly. That's what this little yellow probe at the top is measuring.
Yeah, the other ones.
This top number measures EMF. That's like the little blinky lights they show you on TV, and it says,
Yeah.
oh my god, something's here. Yeah, this is way more accurate. So anything above 2.5, I'm going to be really taking notice of what's actually happening around us, so I can see if it's coming from the wires right there and so forth and so on. The last thing that it has is it has a motion sensor on it. So if something gets near that antenna, it will go off. So, turn on.
This major colors.
So if something goes near it,
Ooh,
it's going to go off.
proximity.
So the closer it gets, the higher pitch it's going to get.
Damn.
So again, it can be very annoying on your audio. It's not always on all the time because it will kind of, if I jostle it, even with my steps, it will go off just because the EMF field based around the antenna.
Oh, yes.
is
Penetrated.
Yeah, exactly. So again, I'll pull this guy out from time to time, kind of see where we're at with readings. I am going to turn the temperature off just in case because it makes the EMF detection a little bit more accurate and moves a lot faster.
That's good.
So again, I'll keep this guy handy. That's why, I have to record my pants no matter where I go anyway. So now that we all have devices, in the event that I feel like we need to pull something else out of the bag, because remember this is set up for a group of 10, I do have laser lights and digital cameras and all kinds of shit that we can play with too.
Oh, cool.
So with that said, if I feel the need to bring those out, I will. But usually, I usually wait to do that one last. So, but because you guys were kind of very versatile with the way this was going down, I'm like, I'm going to bring out both cameras.
Hey, we
tonight.
appreciate it.
Whatever.
So,
I mean, we're
Once in a
Get it
lifetime
all.
opportunity here.
yeah.
That's
So
what we're
where you
looking
guys
for.
from?
We're from Greenville, South Carolina.
Oh, so not too far.
Nah, not far.
Yeah, but so let's talk about why we start here. Because I told you guys to meet me at Big John's.
Right.
Man, what's in those t-shirts? No, I'm kidding. Make sure I'm not crunching your poster too, by the way.
I mean, dude, I'm not going to be upset for
Crease it.
Again,
That's the
obviously I'm
story.
keeping your hands occupied, so I want to make sure I'm not ruining that experience. So Big John's, obviously a haunted location. That's why we
Yes.
start here. So Big John was a football player for the 1947 New York Giants. This was his bar back in the day. This place just actually reopened at Big John's just a few months ago. So the interesting thing is he used to sit in the back of the bar and he would tell the bartender if the cadets coming over from the Citadel if they were old enough to drink or not. One night, 2 guys come in, they're not old enough to drink. He has the
Mhm.
bartender throw them out. They leave pissed off.
Yep.
They come back the next night and they try to steal the cash register from the front of the bar.
No way.
John sees what's going on, gets up, starts beating the shit out of these 2 guys, these
Damn,
little
fella.
cadets. A couple of shots go off and John gets hit in the neck. The bullet lands in the wall. John gets up after being shot, tells the bartender to get him another beer, get the 2 guys on the floor in ambulance. Right, it is funny, because
Yeah.
John's the only one that got shot. So, people that sit in the front of this bar tend to get a little queasy, nauseous, or headache because the bullet hole is allegedly still here. So it's not a myth or legend. Again, I haven't been back in since they actually reopened the place to verify that it's still here. They may have actually filled it in. Doesn't matter. John's blood is in this building. So I bring this story up on purpose because I do get a lot of kids and moms and that kind of shit. So it's a heated warning that if anybody starts to feel any of those symptoms, nauseous, headache, dizziness, I need to know immediately.
Understood.
I'm not going to say that
Yeah.
people haven't gotten sick or passed out from this
Dude,
door.
this is really weird. I'm like getting a lot of like ESPN feeds. You said he was a football player, right?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
I'm not a sports guy, so
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
Friday night a football night. I'm
Yeah.
asking.
I'm being like serious. It's just sports coming through right now.
Very, very interesting. So
Oh,
we'll see
wow.
what happens. Just wanna make sure it's still
Sports
moving.
Center top 10.
So, you don't want to know why the word bicycle is relevant here? Oh.
This is or
you see that
whatever the fuck it's
sports.
You see that building right there with the yellow stickers on it?
Yeah.
That's the bike taxi garage.
No way. Wicked.
So here's what else I'm going to tell you is that there was, and I normally don't tell this story because it's fairly recent. I try not to disrespect any families that are still living.
Yeah.
But the previous owner of that place actually committed suicide. He shares the same name. So if you hear my name and we have the word bicycle, we obviously have something going on from the owner of that bicycle shop.
Absolutely. That's the only conclusion.
So, again, what we're about to go through is not coincidental, especially since I see it night after night after night after night. So, you guys ready to go ghost hunting?
Yeah, I'm
You
ready
guys
to
gonna
go
tell
ghost
me if
hunting.
anybody starts to feel dizzy or sick?
Yeah, we'll let
All
you
right.
know.
Not that, I mean, you guys are obviously bigger than I am. I feel like the short midget over here.
No, we feel great,
I felt
man.
dizzy and sick all night, but it's fine.
Yeah, we're great.
That's self-induced.
Whoa.
So how often does this generate words?
So, the game we're playing with this
Yeah.
is it coming from the app or is it coming from an actual ghost? So, what I'm about to go through with the spirit boxes now will kind of clarify some of that. Now, the app is made to generate a word. I don't know. Sometimes they come through very quickly. It's just literally it's random.
It is, yeah.
It's completely random. So there might be some spots where you might not have a word for 3 to 7 minutes. We never know. There might be other times where you have 3 or 4 terms come through where you can't even read them. They're coming through so quickly. You have to actually go to the list to see what the hell popped up. I've been using that app for about 6 years now.
Really?
And it still never ceases to amaze me on how accurate it can actually be. So, again, with the TV show thing, they normally have like that little box that says the word for you and has 2 little tiny antennas on it. It's called an ovulus. That ovulus only has 2,048 terms in it. You would think that that's a lot, but the one you're holding right now has 9,112. So you have 9,112 possibilities of things that could pop up. And if it's relevant, again, let's go through spirit boxes, because this is actually kind of like your level 1. Like you guys wanted to Ghost Hunting 101, this is where I start.
All right.
This is the big red barn. This is where we keep horses for the carriage rides. The horses are still inside the barn, which is another reason why we use earbuds. They don't like the white noise. So the only history here is really simple. This is the same red barn where we held horses that delivered milk and eggs to the residents of Charleston. So I'm always going to give you keywords to certain stories. Over there it was 1947, New York, Giants, Big John. Anything relating to football, which you've been hearing ESPN.
Yeah, I heard Alicia Keys, New York. I promise. Like I'm not bullshitting you.
So again, keywords. So over here, it's obviously going to be milk, eggs, delivery, horses, and anything related to a stable. So spirit boxes. This is not TV. This is not is somebody here, right?
Yeah.
Because if somebody says no, somebody's here. They answered you. They're just a smartass. So we're going to go after specific questions. You guys are all here for actual paranormal proof. He's probably going to be spitting out answers to questions that we are all asking, because he's the only one that can actually hear what's going on.
Like you guys.
So, just so you know, as we get further along in the tour, just keep that night vision piece off.
Yeah. I'm just doing it with them.
No, I get it. So the other tours, you can imagine, with what I do and what they do, it's a very different dynamic. So they get a little upset when they see I have full groups of 10 marching in on their parade. And they're like, they start talking to my guests. Because you guys are going to spread out at some point, a little bit. You know, not like, hey, you go over there, but we are going to spread out. And that's where the other tour guides come in and kind of like, what do you got going on? What's he got you using now? I do it all the time. So, anyway. Spirit boxes, we're not going to spend a lot of time here. We're literally just going to cut through very slowly. This is more of what can your devices do. So you're going to ask questions throughout the night. First off, this is going to be a location where you know the answers. If somebody's here, tell me what color the big red barn is. Obviously, you're going to be looking and listening for the color red.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, he's listening to DJs and song lyrics to convey messages. The word red might not be there. Fire truck, blood, heart. All 3 of those things are specifically red. So that would be an acceptable answer. However, I normally verify another answer with another one. You see the word arch, but you hear the number 40. Art Faircloth was number 40 on Big John's team. So those are the kinds of things where I'm like, holy shit, that matches up.
Whoa,
a lot of the stories I'm going to tell you tonight have a lot of Charleses, a lot of Elias's, George, those kind of things. We need to know who the hell we're talking to.
That's right.
So, again, how silly you think it might be, you said you heard New York from Alicia Keys. You heard New York. We just talked about a New York Giants player. So again, relevance. The bicycle bit. I'm going to be listening, obviously, for Nick when I'm listening to it tomorrow morning. So again, we have one word. I want to verify with another. Cameras.
Like Pavlov.
I need to have this bitch up at all times.
Well, it's recording.
I've kind of been slacking.
Yeah,
my bad.
Mine's been up.
Yeah, you have been. I've been watching
It's
those
just
camera
been like-
angles, buddy.
Mine's
I
been
got
up.
footage of the ground.
Mine's been good.
What am I looking for in this guy? Go ahead and point the camera at me again. Make sure everything's on. So
Hey,
you
Bob.
should be able to see me in kind of a pinkish or purplish circle, right?
Yeah.
So really what we're looking for are things to pop up out of the darkness with the long-range camera. So, and it's going to be in that same pinkish purplish hue. I'm not watching the circle. It's a matter of what's popping up that I should be able to see. So your footage, the slower you are with that camera, the better the footage is going to be.
Okay.
And again, when I say stop the video, you just want to tap this guy up here. It'll stop blinking.
This?
Yep. I mean, you're good. Let's record a little bit until we get to the next stop. I want to get you guys as much footage as possible. With your camera, Terry, you got to get these names down.
You're doing
We're going to
good.
try to keep somebody in view at all times.
Right.
The reason why, I'm going to be the warmest thing out here. Okay, so we want that variance of temperature so that I can actually see the cold spots moving or forming. Point your camera at the wall. Should kind of bleed out to one color.
Yep.
Should have all red.
Yep.
I'm going to put my hand in view, keep your camera in place. Did the wall turn blue?
It sure did.
Okay, now you can see why I want to try to keep somebody's skin temperature in view at all times. I'm going to show you guys footage.
Just working on the negative reaction.
Yes. So when you have a big variance, like my skin temperature is obviously going to be like 96 to 99 degrees. My hands are a little chilly right now. But again, we're going to have that variance versus the ambient air temperature that's going to probably hold a good 68 to 71 out here right now. I don't know what your crosshairs say in the center, but I'm guessing you're probably in the maybe 65 is a little
Well,
chilly out
it's
there.
pointed at you, so.
What's the wall say?
What does that say? 90?
Does the wall say 90 for real?
Yeah.
Okay, do you see the red square on the screen?
Yeah.
Tap the red square till it turns to a circle. It's probably in my bag a little bit too
Oh,
warm.
yeah. There you go. 66.
Okay, perfect. So I was almost right on target. I said it was about 68. So I was pretty damn close.
Yeah.
I do not study all of this every night. No, not at all. All right, so definitely keep your camera up. We're going to walk slowly through here now that you guys all have a better gist of what your stuff is.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't mind that you guys smoke. I see you guys kind of like going off to the corner. I'm a heavy vapor, so if you don't mind, I'll probably vape along the way
Yeah,
too.
I just didn't
Yeah,
want to,
absolutely.
blow it towards you.
Yeah, that's
No, I'm good. I'm actually, I had to fill up with my wife's flavor today because I was out and about and I don't like it, so I'm trying to burn through it so I can fill up with my shit again.
Gotcha.
Definitely know how that is.
And actually,
It's the
you
worst.
just texted me before I was about to take my other vape. I won't say what it is on the air because we are recording.
Right.
But I was like, okay, got to put that down.
Gotta work
I got to get to
tonight.
work. All right,
Yeah,
so let's
that's
walk
right.
slowly. Spit out anything that you hear.
Night happened. Meat. Bicycle. That's it.
You have 8
Yeah.
as a number.
Uh-huh.
That could be somebody from Big John's team.
Really?
Again, jersey numbers.
Ah,
Numbers
yes.
and names usually don't lie. So now you're making me work even harder in the morning to find number 8.
Those things. Terrible. Hey, don't tell me. Camera? Oh, members only.
Cameras only. What you got there?
Wound.
It's actually pretty cool. Yeah.
Are you hearing stuff? What happened? Pete? That's what's always
What's
popping
that
up.
saying?
Bicycle?
Wound night 8 happened. Bicycle.
quick reading, see what we got going on here before I tell you what this place actually is. Got nothing right now, which is odd.
50. What's it done? What's he looking at?
I like the word wound. I want to see if something else pops up around it before I tell you what it's actually referring to.
Okay.
The
Night
bicycle,
happened isn't like.
too vague.
Okay.
Again, we're looking for specifics. So again, when you get a lot of times I'm going to say, yeah, that's probably 80%. Because again, only 20% is going to actually mean something. The bicycle term, like spot on. Like that's what I'm looking for. Big John
Yeah.
had a wound in the neck from the bullet hole.
Yeah.
The name John just showed up.
Uh,
So I'm not surprised. I mean, we're still only 1 block away from it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So, I mean, that will happen from time to time. That's probably going to be the only other place that we get. See, there goes one of the bike taxis right now. He's going back up to the garage. But we
There
will
he
get
goes.
things from time to time in a close enough spot. So there's no other place that we're going to be hunting, like looking forward to, other than Big John's in here. That's going to come up here at this location. Because the next spot is actually like 3 blocks away. So let me tell you what goes on here.
okay.
This is the Pinckney Mansion site. There's obviously nothing here to see besides cars, so that's why the other tours don't come here. But this is a pretty big hotbed for paranormal activity. So, quick history. Eliza and Charles Pinckney lived here. We actually met on Pinckney Street. Their mansion sat right where we're standing. Eliza's garden was lined up like right behind that church and came all the way across. And then the slave and servant quarters were in the back of it. So, again, real history is what we're going to be diving into. Eliza and Charles had a son named Charles. They also had a nephew named Charles. That's 3 different Charleses. The son and the nephew were signers of the Constitution for South Carolina. That's a pretty big deal. You guys live in South Carolina. You should know.
Sure do.
But if I don't mention it, they usually tell me somehow or another, like, hey, you forgot this. But Eliza married Charles at a young age. I'm not going to tell you what that number is. I will tell you that Charles was over double her age when they got married. It's not as creepy as it sounds once I give you the answers later. Which, by the way, no, it's not.
I was like, oh god, 8 came up. 8 came up. 8 was there.
Oh, no,
I'm
no,
not
no.
gonna give you guys questions that's going to be like, what color is the big red barn, or George Washington's white horse kind of mentality.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
going to be, you're going to get the answers from the spirit box. So, we obviously got the marriage thing, but she married him because her father in England thought he was dying. She didn't want to go home because he wanted to see all of his kids. She said, no, I don't think you're dying yet. So she stayed put. Dad got better. She was already married. He starts sending her wedding gifts. One of those gifts happened to be the plants indigo. You guys lived in South Carolina. Are you guys familiar with indigo at all? Okay. Next, blue dye that makes your blue jeans blue.
Yep.
Wearing it right now. So she learned how to keep
Back
it
in 4th
cultivated.
grade.
Yeah, I know. Right? Again, it's another history lesson. She had to learn how to keep it going in colder temperatures. So she had to learn from the slaves how to keep it going. Then she moved it to Mount Pleasant. I know you guys know where that city is.
Yeah.
Just north of you.
That's
She
right.
calls her dad, says, I need some
Members
contacts.
only.
1740s, 1750s. So rice plantations were going to shit. So her indigo swooped right in and started making the country money that she's selling it overseas. Eliza Lucas Pinckney is a big deal for the start of our country. So let me tell you about the weird shit about Eliza. She's the second wife named Eliza from Charles, back to back. So I don't know if it was a smart move or a stupid move.
That's weird.
Both Elizas go by their maiden name, which starts with the letter L. So if you want to ask what the maiden name was, hopefully you get an answer.
What was the maiden name?
I'm not going to tell you. The spirit box is.
That's right.
The mansion's obviously not here. You can ask what happened to it. Then we can ask what year that happened if we get some kind of answer.
Okay.
The children, don't poke the bear. Just ask what the names of the kids were and leave it alone. Maybe how many kids she had. There's a tragedy in there. All
Sounds
activity
like it.
will stop if we start poking the bear too hard against that tragedy. I am going to give you guys the answers to this shit before we leave.
Good.
It's not like I'm going to leave you hanging.
Good.
Okay.
Trying to think what else. Eliza's death. Ask anything you want to. Eliza, how old were you when you died? Where are you buried? Where'd you die from? And what president took you to your grave as a
Are you
pallbearer?
hearing some stuff?
What president took me to your grave as a pallbearer?
So Eliza had a pallbearer at her funeral
Okay.
that was a U.S. president,
So can Eliza tell us that?
and she has many times. I'm only giving you questions that I've already had the answers to.
So
multiple
it
times.
was oh god. You were really poking my brain. It's
This is colonial times, man.
I know. Adams. No,
You're
that
going
wasn't
to
a
ask
president.
the spirit box and see if they're going to give you the damn answers.
There you go.
Well,
See what pops up.
Eliza, what president took you to your grave?
Yep. That's exactly how we're gonna roll all night long.
Cool.
You stop recording.
Other dude.
What was that?
Let me make sure that I'm good here.
Oh, you're good. It's recording. With that flash, it's good.
What's that?
He had stopped recording there for a little while, so it's not a big deal. It's not a whole lot.
He's getting all sorts of audio over here.
Yeah. Go ahead. Let me circle back. Now hit the list again. So express doesn't mean anything. I want to see if something comes up around wound, but I am going to try to find us a good reading. We're going to stay away from vehicles in this lot.
How did Eliza die?
Find
Eliza,
out.
how'd you die?
People get weird about their cars being filmed, guys, just so you know. So
Right.
I don't think we're going to have any disrespectful people. Oh, 5.6. So anything above 2.5 is usually a good sign. I've seen this thing go all the way up to 149 in this lot. That's like what your microwave gives off.
Yeah.
Just so you know how strong that signal is.
I feel like you're looking to me for an answer.
I'm
that I
not.
can't-
I'm not.
I'm waiting for you to spit something out.
I know.
I'm actually going to walk around a bit just because I'm not getting much of a reading here.
Okay.
See what else we can find. Actually, for even more shits and giggles, let's set this guy down. If we can get this thing right up.
Uh-oh.
I will say it just went up to 18, so that's a good sign too.
And I'm looking for really dark spots on this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see much.
Blue, black, anything dark. I mean, obviously you're going to have darker things in
Yeah.
there,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
as
yeah.
long as if they start moving, taking
Yeah.
shape, that's what we're after.
Got it.
This thing's going haywire over here.
Is it?
So electrical wires, anything electrical will make this thing go off, and there's
Right.
nothing electrical in here. Everything that you're seeing outside is too far away for it to affect where we're at.
Right. Pretty fucking sweet.
So what are you hearing over there?
Deadline.
Have you heard anything on the spirit box?
Deadline.
$16, 18, 27. So these are, so the ones they show on TV only go to 25.
Right.
Just so you know, like
So is this being affected by like us being closer to it?
there's nothing like even our cell phones and all the gadgets that's out. Like it would literally have to be like right underneath it.
Hmm.
So the fact that it's all over the damn map right now. I'm watching the numbers just move. Then it'll go back down to 0 and spike back up again. The 27 has been the highest number. Eliza or Charles, can you make that box with the red light go to blue? Get close to the metal stick. Done it before. So when I do things like that, that's for the motion. So each one of those colors on here, as they get closer, goes to different colors. There's purple and blue in the middle. And I usually go after that one simply because that's not touching it and it's not staying too far away from it. That's why I do the blue or the purple, because that way I know they had to get so close
Yeah.
and not actually touch it. Anything else popping up?
Not really. Deadline currently express.
Nothing. Anything on this guy? It's hard to hear, isn't it?
A little bit. I'll get something every now and then, but it's hard to kind of distinguish what it is.
That's definitely not an easy task. Especially when I listen to him every single morning.
Yeah.
You got the right guy on the job, though.
these readings so I don't forget them for your guys.
Yeah, just slow it down. I was like, I've lived life to the finest. And then it just been...
And right back into it again. Okay. So I'll write that one down. Obviously, you've heard it for a reason. These people they had money. They had a lot of it. Like, a lot of politicians in the family.
Life.
What you get there?
Can you tell us which one of your sons had a wound? Give us his name.
What's it say? Railroad?
I got nothing with the railroad.
James?
No.
No.
But you heard James,
Yeah.
so I'm still gonna write it down.
There you go.
Liza, we're asking you all kinds of questions here. Can you give us some kind of answers? Give us one of your sons' names, particularly the one that got wounded. Or you can get close to the box on the ground, make the lights go to blue. Tell us how you died.
Railroad?
No. Nothing dealing with the railroad, at least not to my knowledge with the family. Was that before that check?
Yeah. Police check?
Didn't even have police. This is colonial times. There's no
Yeah.
police.
Police would have been a little different.
Yeah. Well, this was also an English one.
Exactly.
And it's
Would be mine.
called them flat-footers or something.
Liza, you're just going to leave us hanging?
Come on, Eliza. Give us a few answers. Let me show you guys, show these guys the direction here. This thing is actually,
Liza's not the most eventful ghost.
she normally is. But this has gone down to 0. It's not really doing much now. You guys seen the activity out of it before, and now it's kind of slowing down. Nothing crazy on your end?
Nothing I see.
You're not even watching yours. He's like,
I mean,
I'm just holding it.
catching it. I'm catching it.
We're gonna have views of his ping pong shirt when we're watching the video.
Nah, I think
We'll get some
have
good
pretty
footage.
It actually says, go fuck yourself, hunt. Learn how to hold a camera.
Dude, all right. Whenever we check this footage tomorrow, I bet it'll be all y'all.
And the ground.
What's that last one?
Himself. Study 0.
Yeah.
It's pretty low. Let's go see what's going on the other side of the lot.
Liza, how'd you die?
Let's go over to this side. See if we can anything.
Readings near the kitchen.
Not getting anything over here. I don't think I've ever seen that pop up.
What's that?
That word himself. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Alright, so as he's continuing to listen, I'm going to give you guys the answers and then kind of give you the gist of like where our next location is and what's going to happen. You can probably cut both videos so you can hit the red square. You don't spend a lot of time here. Again, but when I have the tourists coming through, they want to see old cobblestones, especially those Westerners. Like,
Yeah,
they don't get to
But
see
dude,
this.
you're
That looks
giving us
pretty
like an aspect I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I didn't know about it.
This is actually,
pretty cool.
this dates back pretty far. This is 1796, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But again, people used to live here, little tiny shotgun houses. These were lower class people, by the way.
Yeah, so
small-
you'd have like 16 fucking families packed in here.
No,
Really?
no.
No.
There's only 5 to 6 shotgun houses here at a time.
But in one house, there'd be one family.
Yeah, but it's a shotgun house, so there's like 2 rooms in it.
Yeah, but you do cover a fucking whole block. That's a lot of block for little people.
Yeah.
That's a lot of block.
I'm kidding.
But I mean, again, it's just an interesting place because of the.
No, I mean, it looks fucking cool.
But these tall buildings wouldn't have been here, neither the ones across the street. So that small low tide coming through here, the rich aren't going to put up with that small low tide. So that's the way it works.
Here, I don't know what time comes in. That's, dude, that's
Low
stuff I would have never
Low
hit.
tide is nasty shit. Like it smells like dead fish. Like that's the only way to put it.
I always thought it was a paper mill.
No, paper mills are.
I'm kidding.
That's a whole different story. But again, the way the houses are designed, so like the Pinckney Mansion, for example, actually sat broad on the street. That's because they didn't care about the taxes. So the houses down on the Battery are skinny and long back. You only pay taxes on what you took up of the street. So that's why they built their houses.
That's dope, dude. That's dope.
So the other piece of why they built their houses that way, we have piazzas here, so they have a front door on their porches. The reason for that is because they didn't want the smell of low tide coming through their porch and then through the home. They actually opened the top windows so the cool breeze would go over the top and cool the whole house down. So again, that's why they're long and skinny. Instead of with the Pinckneys, they had so much fucking money. They were like, screw it, we're gonna build broad. We don't care about the taxes.
in our noses. It's our money.
They didn't care.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Didn't care. So from here, we're going to actually go to another alley. However, I got kicked out of that alley, so we're not going to actually go down it like this one. I'll tell you why once we get there. Later on, you can. I can't take you down.
Okay.
We have certain laws we have to follow. Like even the text today.
You're my cousin, and I'm in here from New York.
The neighbor
I just
knows my
wanna-
face, and I'll get the phone call and ticket. I pissed him off that bad.
I'll pay your ticket.
Come on, let me show you this.
Yeah, it says awful. It says brand. Members only, by the way.
Where did you actually find that?
Amazon.
I actually noticed that when you walked up, I'm like, is he wearing a members only jacket?
It's members.
Are you the only member?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Like a tumbler of scotch. I leaned over at the table, making me mad.
Are there any historical bars on? Thanksgiving?
That's coming up.
Thanksgiving again?
Huh?
That showed up the other night. So the story of why I got kicked out of there is because of Thanksgiving. And we're going to go talk about Thanksgiving. I'm not kidding you. This is all relevant. All of it.
I mean, I'm getting a break bread. Like,
Look, is this what
It's
you
like
guys
actually-
bread? Is this what you guys let your get? I was like,
I'm down. Whatever. I didn't know what it was going to be. As long as I got to carry some fucking equipment out. I mean, no.
I don't know if it's just the acid or if it's all these sounds. No, seriously.
That's the greatest. Oh man, that was a good one.
It's like, come on.
Sorry, I was taking time. I don't need to be recording, do I?
No, you're good. You can kill it right now. So we're looking down at Philadelphia Alley. It is residential down at the end. We're gonna let these folks pass on.
Right.
That's what they're walking down Philadelphia Alley. It's like they like. This place used to be called Duelers Alley. So the duels used to occur here in Charleston. So we all talk about one specific duel. However, before we get into that, I'm going to tell you why I got kicked out. I'm the annoying twerker. You guys all have gizmos and gadgets and flashies and blinkies, and there's neighborhoods, like there's a mansion at the end of it. So the night before Thanksgiving last year, this guy comes out of his house, and he's pissed. I'm not kidding. And it's all relevant to the story after this, which is even funnier. So, I got a phone call on Thanksgiving from the tourism office, because I know the guy, and he's just like, somebody just complained about your tour. I'm like, yeah, I was going to email you, but it's a holiday. I wasn't sure if you were taking emails. So, he says, I can't have you going all the way down Philadelphia Alley. So I said, fine, I'll reroute. So I started rerouting literally the next day. It was November 28th, 2020. I'll never forget that date, because the ending story that I have to end with you guys, the trial from these pirates that I'm going to tell you guys about later on, was on November 28th, 1720, the exact 300-year anniversary of that trial, and we had the number 300 come through. So the fact that you had Thanksgiving show up as we're about to approach this alley, I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So that's like, I think that's the second time this week. I won't lie. Yeah. So I was kind of like, all right, they definitely want me to tell the funny story of how I get kicked out of places when I'm investigating. So again, it's just kind of how I roll a little bit. But anyway, this alley is Duelers Alley, so we all told the story of one specific duel. So let me get into this to see if you actually hear any names or anything that pops up of other keywords.
James.
Still on James.
Yep.
Probably the guy that's holding his name.
Could be.
Could be the what?
Check his ID. It's my name.
Is that your real name? Did you bring somebody with you?
No.
A dead
I just
person?
go by Dylan.
Yeah, but did you bring a dead person with you?
I've been told I bring dead people with me.
That happens all the time. Somebody's having a good time. No
Dead
golf cart
serious.
riding? Alright.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as too much fun.
That's right.
Try acid.
There's a doctor that moves down here from Rhode Island. He's moving down here because his fiancée Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents.
Oh.
The motors that
No, he's got a
started-
VW,
Yeah,
he's fine.
I know.
People's car.
His fiancée Amanda just inherits all this money. The attorney that's handling all the money for her tells her to get rid of the doctor. He's just after her cash. He moves to Charleston. The coachman that brings him in sets him up to be robbed and killed. Not a very good start. So, it's gonna get-
Awful. Straight from the word list. We. Yeah, it said we.
Say O-I?
Yeah, it's we. It's French. Yes.
But is it spelled O-I? I thought it was O-U-I.
It's O-U-I. It's O-I.
Oh, really?
Joke, guys. Whoa.
I don't know what the fuck it says.
No, it's O-I. I've never even... Oi? Hired?
Normally initials would show up here because the funny thing is that there was a guy that stopped the doctor from being killed. His name is Ralph Isaac, so his initials are R.I., and they're the same initials as where the doctor came from, Rhode Island. So R.I. will show up here from time to time. That's why I stopped and looked, because I seen the letter I. But anyway, so this guy, he takes him to... Wow. It's a weird night, guys.
I know, man. It's been a wild one.
So Ralph takes the doctor to 59 Church Street. So if you hear the number 59, it's relevant.
Okay.
The two become friends. They supposed to play together. The doctor starts making more money than Ralph. So they can't sit next to each other during these plays. On the way home one night after seeing a new play, the doctor loves the new actress that was here. Ralph doesn't. They start arguing. Next thing they know, Ralph is making fun of the doctor's fiance back home in Rhode Island.
Now season 3.
I know. Whoa. When is the telenovela? This is some juicy tea here.
What am I not getting?
I don't know.
It was a joke.
Yeah.
That was the story.
Oh.
It's like juicy tea.
Over my head,
I guess
I
so.
missed it,
Sorry.
Sorry.
So anyway, Ralph puts an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. The doctor sees it, rebuttals with, let's go to Dolor's Alley and settle this. So they come down, they take their 20 paces. The doctor points his Did it die?
Bro, it's just.
His battery died. It's okay. I'm going to get him a new one.
What the fuck are you talking
Your
about?
battery
I'm
died?
holding
to
it.
point this down.
You had one job.
Oh,
His battery died, though. I had it recording a long time. It's not his fault.
okay. What's he doing? Same shit as I was doing. I'm holding the fucking camera.
My battery's-
I mean,
my battery's
What the
working.
fuck do you want from me?
Just trying to catch
So I
something over
carry
here.
5 batteries with me at all times for that thing, just because of the damn batteries die all the time. But anyway, so they come down, the doctor points his gun in the air and he shoots. He did not kill his friend. However, Ralph put one bullet in the doctor's kneecap. It did not kill him either, but the doctor dies 10 days later.
You hear a kneecap?
Knee and leg will show up here a lot, especially with wound. It's kind of the same thing with Thomas back at the Pinkley site. But they say the doctor was known as the whistling doctor because he was a happy guy. This is the late 1700s, and he whistled all the time. They say as you walk down the alley, you can hear the whistles from the doctor. That's why I used to take people all the way through it, and we're not allowed to do that. Cool. So when you guys walk through there later, turn on your voice recorder, listen to it later, see if you hear any whistles from the doctor. So very interesting story. I still get a lot out of it with the spirit boxes. So we're gonna see what happens. Let's go talk about some kick-ass pirates. What do you think?
Yeah.
I'll show your video for a little bit if you want.
Okay. I am now.
But it does like to act a little wonky in here. So, and it's normally paranormal when it does happen. What you guys were hoping for?
Oh,
Yeah, no, it's just like
even
this
better,
is
dude.
Way better.
I don't get much out of this device at this location, but we're gonna try it.
yeah. That's
These
crazy.
are apartments back here.
Oh, getting some action.
Classroom
that was
level.
me. That was me moving.
Oh, wheels.
Yep, classroom. Yet another story. Around the corner. Are any names tied to that? Yeah, big
It's
girl.
Rebecca.
I don't think
the GoPro will catch
that.
Big, thick, older Rebecca.
That's a big girl.
Yeah.
I don't want me to
No, I mean,
That's a big girl.
I mean, Rebecca. I've known a couple thick Rebeccas in my life.
pick Rebecca's.
I think it goes with the name.
Rough Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Uh-oh.
That's not me.
That's not you? Who could that be?
Step
That
away
thick
from
girl,
me.
Becca.
Is that Becca?
Don't look I'm not the ghost, guys.
All right, here. How about you control everything?
Yeah, I should.
That's not for me. Because I'm holding this thing pretty steady.
Becca,
Can you get
where
closer
are
and
you?
make it go to blue? Take it that's a no. Thick Rebecca, can you come through?
2C.
Alex or Alexa or Alexis?
Yeah, that wall looks nuts.
That is?
It looks crazy.
Whoa.
Okay.
No, I'm showing them like how strong something is.
I gotta get a shot of this wall so I can talk about it the next time I see it. You get anything of it?
Hint, portion, shadow.
Ooh. That might go.
What was the name of Calico Jack's shit? Tell me.
What we need to know.
Yeah. Rafika?
All I can picture right now is
Just a
Have
thick
you-
Rebecca.
yeah,
Just a
have you
big
seen-
booty. Yeah, me
Pirates.
too.
We're talking about pirates. And all I can think of is
I
the
should make it a
woman
pirate.
that Jack Sparrow had to marry when he got stranded on that island.
Elizabeth Hurley?
No, big fat chick who was captured by those tribal whatever. I think it was in the
Oh
second
no.
Like, that's what I'm thinking of with Rafika.
I'm not
like
there.
she's chawing on a lamb chop and
I'm not there.
like it's I keep saying Rafika, that's all I can picture.
Whoops.
Like, oh, yeah.
I forgot all about this thing.
So do you guys actually have vape in those little things?
Yeah, it's just nicotine. In those.
Yeah, nicotine.
And that one.
Yeah, yeah, man, nicotine.
Small ones.
Proposed.
So
Is that
Calico Jack did propose, but she was already married to James, so he tried to buy the dowry, and James refused. So she was married to James Bonney. the
Bag?
entire- Yeah, I got nothing.
bag of money?
Yeah. If
No?
I said gold coins, I'd be a little
Okay.
bit more.
Maybe she's hipping with the time. Like with the juicy teeth.
That you
They're bad.
Yeah, it's like. Were you after that bag, Rafika?
got another one.
General. Was he a general? No. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the name of Calico Jack shit? The fuck was the name? I want to know.
I've actually had people on this tour that are very skeptical of this, like they were dragged by a spouse,
Yeah.
and they'll sit there and Google everything and
Oh,
go
yeah.
around and tell everybody all the answers. I'm like,
Really?
Dude, the fun is just
Yeah.
being out here with this stuff and trying to
Absolutely.
combine universal synchronicities with everything.
Randonautica.
Exactly. Exactly. This guy fucking knows. Let's go.
Next stop.
This is the last stop.
Oh no.
I mean, honestly,
British.
I could fucking
You're British?
Uh-huh.
chill that well.
British general.
Yep. But not a captain.
All right, so I'll give you the story of the lightning since we're kind of sitting here waiting on more stuff to come through.
Uh-huh.
It's clogged.
Young lady was working at the church because nobody wanted to marry her. She was too old. She was 23 years old. At the time, I know.
Oh, there.
So, she worked at the church. The doctor see all these men doing that. She actually went out and bought a red dress and went down to the jump. She was the best love for it. She gets there. Eddie Nickerson. This sounds odd, I mean, right?
Like, dude, yeah. Odd.
And again, this isn't like I don't have the actual proof. It's just one of those we have lightning. It's all the lightning story. So she goes out to the second story balcony and the about coming back to the church. The priest sees her, goes down to talk to her, and then she come back. Storm rolls in, lightning strikes, and kills her only. Now they say you can see her ghost in the theater on the second floor from the knees up only
Oh, my
because we
goodness.
renovated the Dock Street Theater and raised the first floor ceiling. So she's walking on the floor that she knows.
That's crazy.
It took some
Yeah.
fucking nerd like me to figure out the logistics of the building. Like, why do we have a short ghost where I can't see, like, either that she's a midget or, like,
Yeah.
somebody got kinky back in the 1700s.
Somebody's got to get the technicalities of this shit. Student?
You had something else with teaching, right?
School front.
So around the corner is Poogan's Porch, which is haunted by an ex-school teacher that was her house. It's a restaurant now. Her name is Zoe. That's why I was waiting for Zoe's name to pop up, because that's one of the most haunted places we have here in town.
Really? What is it?
It's called Poogan's Porch.
Oh, yeah. I think I've
It's actually haunted
actually
by
eaten that.
her and her sister. They say you could see Zoe in a black dress in the ladies' restroom mirror.
Yeah, it's the White House, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ate
And then there's the dog, Poogan himself, that actually will pull at kids' pant legs while they're eating.
Really? That's
poop.
fucking nuts.
Now, if you get the word Teach, that's not related to that. That would be Edward Teach, aka Blackbeard.
Ah,
So
Yeah.
I had the word Teach show up here
I
before
haven't
too.
had that. Just student.
That's why I was waiting for Zoe's name or Blackbeard's real name. There's a shit ton of stories just on this corner, so I kind of use this as like, what stories do I need to tell every night? That way, every tour is different.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
And I change it every November. So
Let the
after-
universe do the talking.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I'm going to take out Big John's starting in December, and I'm probably going to add the Haunted Library, but it's a little bit of a hike
Really?
from here. So this is like the ending spot where I end now.
Uh-huh.
So it's like 2 more blocks away, and it takes you a little bit further in town. So,
Cool,
but,
man.
but yeah, I change it every November, obviously, because I get kicked out of freaking Philadelphia Alley